Hey guys, welcome back to Linda's Resin Room. So what I thought I would do today is make these. I'm going to turn these into keychains, these into purse pulls or bag pulls or whatever you want to call them. I've done these before, as you can see all the color around it, but I've never done the dragons. With the dragons, I'm just going to take and I'm going to paint one of them blue with this intense chameleon powder from Let's Resin. This is from the green box. This is also from the green box and it's green. And then their regular chameleon powders, Galaxy and Gold. And I'm going to paint each one of those. This is a holographic mold. So we're going to paint them with the chameleon, back them with black. These I'm going to try to paint up the best I can from memory as to what colors they're supposed to be. Because truthfully, I can't remember. And my phone is down at the house to look it up. Which I may run and go get it because I know how I am. But anyways, I'll do a time lapse as I paint these up because it's going to take me some time to get every little detail on all of these. And you can see I've got colors everywhere. And then I'll see you guys back after the time lapse. So I'll see you then. Alright guys, so I got it all painted up. I dusted them out and I am using a very thin resin. This is from Resin Pro. It's called iCrystal. It's a 2-to-1 resin and it's really thin. It's like water. But there is a discount coupon on here if you guys use Resin Pro. It says Resin Pro 10. It gives you a 10% discount. Like I said, this is a 2-to-1. So I use 2 parts A, 1 part B. Just be aware when they ship it to you, it's in all different size of bottles to equal whatever the amount is that you bought. That's why these are the same size. I haven't mixed it up yet, but like I said, you can see this is watery thin. I'm just going to put a little bit of this black Let's Resin epoxy pigment paste in there. I mixed up 22 gram of part B and 50 gram of part A for 72. I'm hoping this is enough. I might need to mix up some more. The reason I'm using a thin resin is because, and that's all the paste I used, guys, not much. There's a lot of little holes down in there, and I don't want bubbles on this, so I want it to go down in each and every one of those little areas, and using a thin resin should do that. I won't even put this in the debubbler, it's so thin. But I'm going to mix this up for 3 minutes, guys, and then I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I got this mixed up. You can see all those little bubbles popping to the top. And I will just take a little heat to that. This resin degases very, very well. Like I said, that's why I'm not going to even bother putting it in the debubbler, I'm going to work with this and try to get this down in all those little areas, because like I said, there are some really small little areas down in here, and I don't want to miss them. Like the eyes, I mean, they're in the mouth. You're going to have to, with this piece, you're definitely going to have to work to get all those little areas filled with resin. These are not easy to make. I'm just poking down in the eyes, trying to be careful and not mess with my, did you see that bubble come out? Not mess with my paint job. So I'm just going to press around a little bit, move this around, hopes that I can get it everywhere it needs to be. And hopefully these turn out really well. We'll see. Now I'm going to leave it really thin and see if I can get those bubbles to come on out. And I'm going to do this with each one of these. So like I said, there's a lot of little tiny areas. And this tool is just a dissecting tool. Dissecting needle, I think is what it is. So it's got a very pointy edge. And I'm just going to poke around each one of those little holes and hopefully get out all the bubbles. I don't want one to be missing. And if you do a thin layer, then you can see through this. And you can see if you've got any areas you missed. It's like there's a little drop on the knife here. So I've just got a little resin in that. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more down in his hand. See if I can get this to kind of feel all the way up. There we go. Okay, I think I've got all of those. This is a very time consuming making this. I guess that's why I don't make them often. Just roll that on down through there. So I gotta get each of these little places on his hat. I know he's got some places on his face too. I'm pretty sure. His hands. Get this to go on down in his feet. You see all these little bubbles coming up? Okay, I need to put just a little more down in his head for the moment. I'm just pressing. Now this little screen figure, he's not so bad. And you could probably pour resin and go very slow if you wanted to do it that way instead of painting the mold. This is holographic mold. Both of these are. Drop some over here in his hand so I can get those intricate areas there. I'm going to drop down in his shoe. There we go. Now, he's not so bad. He usually fills up pretty well without any issues. Get that. And see, you can see it just filling up. Okay. And then we'll fill them to the top after we do this. I want to get a drip over here in his hand. Okay. Now this mouth is something else. It is very small. So getting it down in there can be a little rough. I think we got it. And then his nose. See, we plucked the bubble out of the one. There's the other. Okay. Get this to go down in his hands. Okay. Now, let's just put a little more resin in here and see if he will kind of spread out a little. Last one. This one's not as bad. He didn't have a lot of little tiny areas like some of the others. Okay. See if I can get this to go down in his feet. That way I can see his face. I think we've got him. Let it flow all the way into his ears. Okay. Now let's just dome these up. I think I might spritz them with some alcohol before I dome completely. Pop the bubbles that have came up. And I may have to mix up more resin for the other mold. But you can see how thin that is when it comes flowing out. And if you dome them, you don't have to trim them. They do very well. Okay, let's see. I think Pennywise is good. Who is this? Jason? Okay, Jason's good. Okay, Freddy's good. I think Michael's already good. Oh, about overflowed him. And he's good too. Alright, the screen guy. Now let's see if we can do the same with these little dragons. This little dragon, I think I filled it too full. Just going to let it kind of flow on its own. I know they've got some eyes, and I can't find them. I think I filled him too full, and I'm not going to be able to fix those areas. Hopefully they'll come out on their own. I see a bubble there. Oh, he's got a lot of little areas. This little fella does. He's got some eyeballs. Okay. His mouth. Can always top coat them if I need to, but it's going to get rid of the holographic effect if I do that. And I really don't want to lose my holographic effect on them. This one's a bit more difficult to work with. I guess all I can do is just hope those areas have filled up. Because I can't. They look like they have. I know he's got some little tiny areas up here somewhere. I've seen them. Okay, come on. I need you to get over there. All right. Definitely going to have to mix up some more resin. Okay. If I can get this spread out a little thinner, then I can see if I've got all the areas or not. See that little line there? He doesn't want to move. Get the resin to go this way. All right. I see a few bubbles. Let's get these out. Okay. I think we got it. And last one. Do I have enough to kind of get these little spots? Definitely going to have to mix up a little more. Okay. And I mix this by weight so I can use the same cup. No problem. And this resin, if I'm not mistaken, has a really long work time. Maybe something like 60 minutes or something. I could be mistaken, but I'm thinking it's something like that. Okay, there we go. I'll mix up a little bit more of that here in just a minute. Let's see if we can spread this, get it to go everywhere. If I can get it to go over the barriers, I think it'll do good. Okay. Almost. Okay, I'm going to see if I can roll this one around and get it to finish filling up. That way I can see where my bubbles are and pluck them out. Is that a bubble? Yeah, there it goes. The eye looks like it filled in pretty good. I don't even see a bubble there. Same way over here. I think he's good. Let's get that ear to fill in. If I can. There we go. Now, I'm going to mix up some more resin and I'll be back. Alright guys, mixed up some more resin. I've let it sit for just a minute. I'm going to pop the bubbles that came up on it here. Just a few. Alright, I did 11 gram of part B and 25 gram of part A. So I think that will be enough to finish filling these up. I hope. Looks like it's taking a little more than I thought it would. And you can see the mica powder floating around on the top from where it was loose into the mold. About to overflow. Okay. Yeah, that's plenty. Dome him up just a little here. He looks domed already. I'm just going to give him that little drop. Okay. Any that could use a little more. Maybe just a smidgen more in this one. And this one. Okay, if I put any more, I'm going to overflow. Alright guys, we will let these cure up. I've got a little bit left. So, let's do a shaker. Since it's just black, let's find us an interference. Let's see. Does that make a purple interference? Ugh. Why am I grabbing that? Alright, let me get over here. Ungrab it. Alright. It's that a little violet mica powder interference. You see what I just did? I grabbed a cup that had resin on it. Let me get a new glove. The resin wasn't cured, and I dumped the cup over. Okay. We'll put in just a little bit of this. Well, it's not even been opened. Have I cleaned that off? There we go. Now we're open. Open for business. Now I'm just going to put a little in here. Okay, I think that's enough. And like I said, it's just a little tiny bit. And I'm going to mix that up in that black. I love the way interference does in black. Can you all see that purple? Isn't that pretty? It's just gorgeous. And even though this resin is really thin, it cures up just like any other epoxy would. It's not like deep pour and takes forever. Just making sure I don't overflow him. Okay, I think he's going to take everything that's in here. So let's get it all out. Okay, almost. Yeah, perfect amount to do a shaker turtle. And we are empty. Okay, now I'm going to spritz this with some alcohol because I forgot to clean it yesterday, and when I do that I have to use tape to get that off once it cures, and to me it takes so much longer to clean these up, so I'd rather do it as I use it. And now he's ready for the next time. Alright guys, we will let this cure up, and I've got resin over there, and then we'll come back for a demold, and I'll do a time lapse and put these together. I'll see you guys then. Hey guys, so I think these are cured up enough that I can go ahead and demold them, but I'm going to let them cure up for a little bit longer on their own before I put them together, because I just like to make sure that they are completely cured when I put them together. I think I made this turtle with something else. Isn't he pretty? I used black with some purple interference. But he's going to get put together during this video. Okay. Here is Pennywise. Okay. And we have the Scream guy. Does he have a name? Or does everybody just call him Scream? Can y'all see the holographic? Here we go. Okay. And this one is Jason. Got all of those little places on his face. That is awesome. Pumpkinhead is next. He always has to have cleanup. Then we have Freddy. Okay. Freddy looks okay. And Michael Myers. All right. Those turned out fairly decent. About how they always do. Okay. Now our dragons. Now I've never made this mold before, so I'm curious to see how it's turned out. Okay. So color shift. Holographic. It's pretty. I wonder if I could get a paint pen down in those lines. It needs a little more than just one color, I think. You can see that's the gold color shift, gold, green, holographic. Well, this is the green one. That's pretty. And then Galaxy. Okay. That's pretty too. Oh, he goes purple and blue and green. All right. I'm going to let these completely cure and then we'll come back. I'll do a time-lapse video and finish these up. So I'll see you guys then.
Glitter flies like stars in the night. Pigments swirl in a cosmic fight. Mica dust in a golden haze. Epoxy dreams in a resin maze. In Linda's resin room, where the colors bloom, art takes its flight. Under neon moons, a masterpiece born in the swirl and the storm. Linda's handscraft worlds, unique and warm. Alcohol ink spills like liquid fire. Blues and purples,
Alrighty guys, so I tried to paint these up and I think they just turned out plumb ugly. So I just stuck a little magnet on this. I'll stick it on my fridge. I can't. Yeah, that's just ugly. This one's not as bad, but yeah, he's just ugly. I like them better with nothing done to them. And that's just me. I like the holographic it does. This just seems like it's lost a lot of its holographic painting it up. So I just added a jump ring to each of these and a little bag pull, and that's all I've done. Now these I had to finish today because they've already sold. And I just took each one of them and I did the same thing. I put a jump ring on there and just put a bag pull on it. And that way they can just be clipped on. The backs are good and smooth. They're not sharp. So, and they're holographic. This was their favorite. Isn't that cool? Alright guys, I will take a picture. I thought I was going to do a shaker, wasn't I? Forgot all about him. Alright, well, I will take pictures and I'll see you guys back for the next video. Bye.